Right, how y'all doing today? I'm out here trying to get this little makeshift grill going again. Wife had some chicken thawing out in there. I figured I could put it out here. I picked the hottest day of the year, it seems like, to do it. I got my fan over here blowing on me, so that'll help out. So we can get this thing to burn down a little while that chicken thaws out. Got to keep plenty of water in this heat. I'll tell you, yesterday I tried to move a bale of hay. Well, not a whole bale, but a pretty good sized amount of it. It done got down small enough I could kind of flip it. Try to move from one side of the house to the other. I got it over here, buddy. That about wore me out right there. About the only thing I want to do in this weather is go fishing, and I don't want to do it in the heat of the day unless I can find me a good shaded spot somewhere. It ain't too bad in the shade if you get you a fan or something. That's what I always do when I'm out here fooling around. Get me a little fan and set it up. I'm gonna have to go fishing though. It looks like they're giving out tomorrow. It's supposed to be a little better. It was supposed to be poor today. That's Soul Lunar or whatever. We coming up on the full moon again. It'll be, I think, next weekend. That ought to be a good time to catch them. I want to go back down to that little creek where we've been going. It's well, I guess it's Joe Fusky Creek, and it goes all the way to the river. Now you can't get. What I want to do, I cleared out some on the bank there where I could put out some bank poles, fish off the bank in several spots right there near the bridge on 19. But only thing is, you can't get very far down. I'll have to keep clearing out. I just took a Kaiser blade, about the best way to do it. But what I want to do is put in with the kayaks and go down through there. There's a log jam right down from a bridge. You could probably drag it over if the water's up high enough. You can see it. It's almost right at the top. You have to try to drag them over it. Be real careful not to dump all your stuff out trying to. I don't know. I hadn't fooled around with them kayaks a whole lot. This is the first time I've ever used them. Nikki bought them things a couple years ago, and we never did get around to using them until this year. But anyhow, they work good, and you can get in little places like that. I wish I could get my boat in there, and you could probably tote it down there, get it in there where both of us could get in it, and whenever it comes back around that full moon, just ease down through there, probably catch some brim bed and stuff. Everything goes to biting, it seems like. There's something to it, cause whenever we made that one video where we was catching them brim and all real good, and caught a couple of grinnell and a couple of little old flatheads. That was the full moon when we was doing that, and they was really biting. And we kept going that week after the full moon, and it sat there and you could tell it just steadily went down. The fishing just steadily went down. Didn't catch nearly as many. You catch a few the next, after that full moon moved out, we caught some that next day. And then it just gradually got to where you just catch one or two. And then it got to where you basically can't catch nothing right now but grinnell. And they ain't biting real good over there now. It's not very deep either. I figured that out near that bridge. I want to get down in there and see if I can find some deeper holes down in there. Man, I've been wanting to catch some catfish. I know they in there. Like I said, we caught a couple of little flatheads. So I know they in there. Like I said before, it hooks the Pearl River. So pretty much everything in it. I had a little old bait basket out up here on this end of it where it crosses this road. I put a bait basket down there sometime, and it had a little old chain pickerel in it, a little old bitty one. This is just one of them little old crawfish traps I could get up at Walmart. Well, they don't got them. I ain't seen them up there lately. I got that from Moo-Foo's over there. He had a few of them. They just little old, kind of them little old baskets that go together and got a little old bitty hole in it. And about all you gonna catch little shiners, crawfish, and stuff like that. Just bait stuff. But I know you got to be careful about certain kinds of bait, what you catch. They got a lot of rules on all that, so you got to be careful. What we usually do to catch bait works out easier than fooling with a trap, and you ain't got to worry about all them regulations. Is we just go down there, take some worms with us, and catch them, bring them right there. You can usually catch a few right off the bat, and then just use them for bait. And the thing about it is, I've heard some people say that fish bite like cut bait or even live bait out of the same, that come out of the same water better than they will that come out of different water. Now I don't know how true that is or not, but I've definitely heard people swear by that. So I don't know. I like doing it because you ain't got to haul a bunch of crap. You can just take you some worms, catch you a few brim, providing they'll bite, and then just make your bait right there. It's fresh. I think they like it fresh. Probably is the main thing, that it's fresh. I got a little old live well in there in the house, and I put that better bait in there. That helps them stay alive a little longer. I ordered a whole bag of it. You can get it in bulk on Amazon from that same company that makes it. I forgot the name of the company, but you can get a whole bag of it. It's like 2 pounds. You can get bigger bags. I guess they sell it like that for people that's got like bait shops and stuff, but it's a lot cheaper if you buy it like that. And you don't have to put much in it neither, just a little tad. I think it said that you're supposed to put a tablespoon or a tablespoon for 30 gallons or something. I can't remember exactly, but in my little old bait tank, what I got rigged up is just a little old one of them Rubbermaid containers. It's about a 20-gallon container, but I don't put but about 10 gallons of water, about 2 5-gallon buckets in there, and all you really need is just a little bit on a teaspoon to go in that, not even a whole teaspoon. You can get too much, that stuff will go a long ways. When I first put it in there, I put too much. I misread it, and then it said on the paper exactly how much to put in there, and I had put too much. Some of the fish died. I don't know if that's what killed them, but I had some little old bullhead in there, and I had used the water straight out of the creek, and then they lived in there for about a week with an aerator, but I didn't have that filter in it. Well, then I got one of them filters put in there. I changed that water to spring water, because we get this spring water down at Four Corners. There's a natural spring that comes out, and that's what we get for our drinking water. That's what I'm drinking right now. And we tested that water, and it's as clean as you can find. Like 99%, nothing showed up on it. You can buy the little test strips. It didn't show any contamination in it. And we compared it to sink water from here, and this sink water is very contaminated. And you can taste it. But what they say they put in it is just chlorine, but it shows all kind of contamination. I don't know what it's from, the pipes and everything else, but they say for sure they put chlorine in it, but they don't put chloramine in it. So it's supposed to be fine to use that better bait in it. It's supposed to dechlorinate it, but according to what I was reading about it, you ain't supposed to use it in water that's treated with chloramine. It won't work on that. But this water's only got chlorine supposedly. But I just use spring water in there, because I already had a bunch of it. I fill up them. I got some glass 5-gallon water jugs, and I prefer glass too, better than plastic. I don't really like plastic, but I know you can't escape it. It's in about everything nowadays. It's done got all in the groundwater and everything, I reckon. They say microplastics is, we getting it every which way you turn nowadays. You can't hardly get away from it. So I don't know. It's a strange thing. They say it's kind of like one of them forever chemicals gets in your body and it can cross a blood-brain barrier, they say. That's why I'm so nuts. Growing up in the 80s, everything's made out of plastic. Everything's put in plastic. I guess ain't no escaping it. Just do the best you can, hope for the best. You know, it says in the Bible that if you try to live right for the Lord, you'll be able to handle all that poisonous stuff and all that. It's like where them people get the idea, they take it to the extremes with them snake handling and drinking that, I don't know, cyanide or rat poison or something, some kind of poison they'll have in the jar. I've seen them on videos. I ain't never been to a church that done it, but I've been a lot up in the Appalachian region where they have those churches. When I used to play with the Sullivans, we went up most little old towns all the time, but we never did play at one of them snake churches. I mean, to be honest with you, it'd be kind of spooky, but in a way it'd be kind of interesting to see it in person. I don't know, I wouldn't want to get up too close to the front, but I've seen it on YouTube, and this one old preacher on there, he done been bit several times, got bad sick, and his dad had died from it. They keep doing it, and it's illegal to do it now, and they still keep doing it because that's what they believe in. I mean, I ain't gonna say that's something you got to do for sure, but I will say they got a lot of faith to be able to do that. Or either they nuts one. I ain't gonna say they nuts. That ain't my decision. I'm just gonna say I'd be afraid. I don't know if my faith's that strong. I'd liable to be one of the ones that died off of it, like his dad did. It may have a weak moment or something. But anyhow, I've always been creeped out by snakes. It's like that old water snake the other day. And you know, I don't even guess some things has teeth. But I was glad that sucker on that line had already choked itself, because I didn't even want to reach down there with a knife and cut its head off. Them things creep me out, man. I always have been creeped out by snakes. My dad was the same way. He hated them too. He hated a rubber snake. You could throw a rubber snake at him and he'd get mad. That's one thing that would make him mad, and he didn't get mad easy. That would make him mad. I remember up at Jerome Tanks, they had come out with these old black looking rubber snakes that was like solid rubbery, and they was pretty good size. They was like the kind of rubber that a lot of them little old snakes back then when I was a kid, them fake rubber snakes was kind of a hard rubber, but these was real soft, almost like a plastic worm that you'd fish with, and it kind of looked sort of realistic, I thought. And I threw that thing at Dad, man, he got mad. You could just bring it in the room with him, just be holding it in your hand, he'd get mad about it. Tell you, get that thing out of here. He didn't want no fool with that. So I don't know, I guess I get it from him. And he always talked about a black runner. I never encountered one. Excuse me, folks, that smoke's getting to me a little bit. I never encountered one in the wild, but he used to talk about them things that get after you. They'd chase you all over the place. I never did see one. I was glad I didn't. I remember one time when I was a kid, though, there was an old chicken coop. We lived right down the street, right past Lovern's Arena. It was this same old house was down there. I guess Dad bought it from Jasper Comer. And there's a couple old buildings out there, sheds, and one old chicken coop. Had all kind of old junk in it, and I'd go in there playing around when I was a kid, pilfering around and everything. You know, our kids got to look at everything, nosy, investigating. It was just a bunch of old clothes and junk in there. I was in there digging around. I reached up in one of them hen nests, had a bunch of old clothes and junk piled in it, and I felt something felt weird. I looked, it was a big old snake. I guess it was like a chicken snake or a king snake or something. And you know, I'd say they harmless, you know, but they actually good to, you know, kill rats and other snakes. They say a king snake can kill other snakes. But man, I touched that thing. I didn't care if it was poison or not. It scared me so bad. I ran out of that shed. It felt like my, for lack of a better word, anus went up to my throat or something. That thing, I touched that snake for it. And that's the only time I was gonna say it's the only time I ever touched one. Other than that one the other day, I died on that line. I skinned it, and I'm gonna make something out of that hide. I got it in some alcohol. I used denatured alcohol because that's what I had. I used denatured alcohol and glycerin. I watched a couple videos on it, and they say some guy said you only have to leave it 3 days. Well, I've had it in there about a week or so. I've heard one person say leave it in there a couple of weeks. So I'm just leaving it in there a couple of weeks probably. and then you just dry it out. I'd like to make maybe a hat band or something, or it would look cool on a knife scabbard, but only thing is, with it moving around a lot, I don't know, them scales may come off. It'd probably hold up better on something like a hat band. I mean, I guess the scales will stay on it okay. I think it was Tommy commented and said he never could keep the scales stay on them very good. But I've seen old like rattlesnake skin boots that the scales look like they're coming off of them a lot. They peel up on them and stuff. I ain't never had a pair of them, but I've seen them. I've seen them in thrift stores and stuff. Never my size, or I'd have picked them up. I always thought they looked cool, but they anyhow, I think I did have a belt that was some kind of snake skin, and the scales were trying to come off of it too. But anyhow, I think a hat band would be better because it don't have to move around much. Get it in that shape, and it pretty much just stays still. It'll probably hold up good. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cook that chicken on here in a little while. Let's let this coals burn down. I was just sitting here waiting for that. I figured I'd check in with y'all. Ain't nothing big exciting going on today. I got a few chores I need to do. I'm gonna try to get around to doing. I got this painting I've been working on. I've been trying to get around to getting it done. It's for Alan Sibley. It's gonna be a cool painting, but I've struggled with the sky on it quite a bit. I showed him several different images. We kind of collaborated on what it was going to look like to get his idea right. I try to spend a little more time doing that these days when I do a painting for somebody. Try to really get some images, reference material for them to look at, and kind of really get what they're thinking, because it's hard to know exactly what's in somebody's mind when they're telling you something you want to paint. It's hard to really pin that down without getting some reference material and showing it to them. So we kind of got it right in the ballpark. I know what he wants, so I'm being a bit persnickety. A lot of times when I'll paint a landscape especially, I do it in a real free form. It kind of creates itself. But if you're working from reference material, I'm trying to stay a little closer to it because I don't want to deviate too much from what I already know he likes. So I've already repainted over that sky like 2 times. Having a little trouble with that acrylic paint I was using, drying real fast, and it wants to rub off more than go on the canvas. So I had to order some. It's a retardant, is what it's called. It slows down the drying time, and it'll help it blend a lot better, especially on stuff that's real soft edges like skies and clouds and water. And this painting has both that. It has, like I said, it's a landscape, so it's obviously got the sky, and it's also got a waterfall, and it'll have like a creek, so it'll have to be a lot of soft blending. So I felt like I just had it. I've gotten by before just using a good bit of water with acrylic paint. Oil paint blends a lot better, but it's just, oil paint is such kind of a hassle. I mean, it's fun to paint, but you know, the way you have to clean your brush, turpentine all the time. And right now I ain't got no studio to do that. I want to fix a place out here in my shed. I got to get around to it, but I'm gonna have to get some material. I mean, I'm gonna have to buy some insulation and put in there, because it ain't insulated. But anyhow, maybe I'll get it one of these days. So anyway, I'm working in the house. That turpentine's stinking up the house. Ain't got a lot of extra space in there. It's not that big of a house, so I just pull my easel out and set it up in the living room. So I used more acrylic paint for stuff on account of that, and also it don't stink it up. It's easy to clean your brushes. It dries faster. A lot of times you got to wait a long time in between layers using oil paint. Now, I paint alla prima a lot of times, especially landscape stuff. In other words, you wet on wet technique. You don't really wait for things to dry. You just keep going. But a lot of things you have to wait for layers to dry, especially portraits and stuff like that. So they can take a real long time. A lot of times people think you're just going to whip out a painting in a week or two, and it just don't work out like that, especially me, because I got a lot of other stuff going at the same time. I can't really just spend all day fooling with it. I have so many chores around here to keep up. We've had a lot of work with the garden and just yard work all the time, and trying to get fishing in there and trying to make some videos. I finally got to 1,000 subscribers. That was a milestone. I sure appreciate all y'all that have subscribed and been watching my videos and commenting and all that. I appreciate y'all a whole lot. I'm trying to get that channel where I can get it monetized, at least be able to get a little extra money out of the deal. Prices of things nowadays, I need all the help I can get. And plus, sitting with mama, it's something I can do, you know. And a lot of things that I do is same stuff a lot of people make videos about anyway, so might as well do it. What I drag around about worse than anything with video making is editing videos. Always, I find it a drag. I don't know. I'm doing it on my cell phone, so you have to upload. If you use a GoPro, a lot of the fishing videos look a lot better when we use. Me and Nikki always fish together, and if we both wear a GoPro, and then I set up the phone. So then you got 3 shots of the same thing, and you can pick out some of the better shots, especially if it's a fish flopping around in the water or something. But boy, it's time consuming to weed through all that and cut all that down. It takes longer to do all that than it does the actual fishing trip. Maybe 3 hours. It may take me 6 hours to weed through all that mess. I just do it piecemeal when I got a project like that with several cameras, or with 3 is all I've ever used, 3 cameras at the same time. I'm sure there's better software than what I'm using iMovie on my phone. I know Justin was telling me about, I think, CapCut and using it on a laptop or something. And it's a lot easier to edit with that. I may have to look into that at some point. Lately, I've been just trying to stick with the old iPhone as much as I can. And just one camera, it makes it a lot easier. And especially like a video like what I'm doing right now, I'm just sitting here talking. Ain't got to do a whole lot of editing at all, just upload. That's another thing that slows me down out here. Our internet's terrible. I'm using my same internet on my phone as a hotspot for the TV and stuff in the house, and then Nikki's phone, we use it a lot for the TV and stuff. And it's just, we use a provider called Visible. It's cheap. It's like $25 a month, unlimited. It's not supposed to throttle down, but I think it does, because sometimes it's so slow you can't hardly do about like having dial-up. I mean, I don't know, I may have to look into some better internet. I know a lot of people went with Starlink. I think it's like $100 and something a month. It's a little pricey for me, but I don't know. Well, time will tell. Before I can get this channel monetized, I had to have 1,000 subscribers, and I got that now. A little over that now. So then you got to get, I think it's 4,000 watch hours. 3,000 watch hours. So I only got like 1,000 and something watch hours. I'm pulling up about halfway there. So that's another thing, if y'all can hit me out with. Watch my videos, you know, all the way through or whatever. That'll help the channel. Share them. Try to get people to subscribe. I appreciate it. I ain't trying to beg y'all to do nothing. Do what you want to do. I'm just going to keep on making them and see how it goes. But anyway, this one right here is already about 23 minutes long. Me just sitting here talking about nothing. So I'm going to get on off here. I might put it back on when I put the chicken on and wind up doing some of that wonderful editing I was talking about. But anyhow, I put a new beginning on. I don't know if y'all noticed. Also changed that logo to red. I don't know if that's better or not. That brown was kind of fit the motif a little better, but the red's easier to see. I don't know though, I still don't know how I feel about that. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about that red, or if you think another color would look better. I'm trying to just keep that logo real simple, just 2 colors. But if y'all think a different color might look better, I thought about blue or green or yellow, but I don't know if yellow would stand up good. That brown looked to me like it really fit the kind of my style, rustic looking and all. But the thing about it is, a lot of videos you put that on there like a little logo on the side of your video, and a lot of pictures I'm taking outside, it just kind of blends in with it. So I don't know if that's the right colors or not. Let me know if y'all got any ideas about that. But another thing I did, start using my own music at the beginning of it. And Justin mentioned that to me. I ought to do that at one point. I appreciate him. He's tried to help me a lot, learn how to do this YouTube stuff. His channel's great, you know. All his videos turn out real good. You can tell he puts a lot of thought into them. I look up to him on all that. I learn from that, you know, make better quality, less boring videos. But anyhow, let me know if you got any ideas. But I put that banjo tune, I got several tunes that I already played on YouTube. So I figured out how I can just screen record it and then take the audio off of it. So that's what that is, that tune I'm playing on that banjo. That's the one I made up called Red Eye Gravy. Just something that comes to name just out of nowhere. You know, I just make up a random name for something. But I can make up tunes all day. So I got plenty of them to pick from. I put some different ones on there and stuff. So I ain't using the same audio that, if you watch much YouTube, you'll notice a lot of the same tunes you'll hear over and over, because I mean, they got this library of tunes you can pick from and put on your videos, and they ain't copyright. You don't have to worry about copyright problems. So everybody uses a lot of the same stuff unless they get their own music. So I said, shoot, I got all these tunes on here already. I might as well use them for something. So I may make up some tunes to use at the beginning and stuff. I don't know, I just try to make it a little better. Kind of like on old TV shows, though, a lot of times it'll have the same song every time. If I can find one I really like, I might do it like that and then just use the same beginning on everything, just like on a TV show. Idea. That ought to help.
Yeah.
Well, how you like it?
Very, very good.
Well, it took long enough to cook. So.
There's our salad.
All right. All right, now I'm finna chow down. Nikki made this salad for me. I love them salads. Well, anyhow, I better try a piece of this chicken. It only took me about 3 hours to cook it out there. I probably didn't do it the best way for that pan up there, but it worked. I got it up to 170. Got some tomatoes out of the garden, some pickles we made. I threw a little barbecue sauce on mine. We'll see what it tastes like. Maybe it got done. 170. I think that's supposed to be about right. Somewhere in that price range.
We are going to get this.
I'm gonna get a piece off of him. He's some big old leg quarters. Got a cousin that works over at the chicken plant. He got these for us. They big, boy, about like a piece of turkey.
You were just happy to be able to get whatever you can get.
It's just right.
And if making watermelon rice.
Done a good job on there. I said it took long enough. Come out good. Give me another piece. I love that barbecue sauce too. I don't even know what kind it was. Some different brand got it up to dollar store.
We'll finish it up tomorrow.
Give him a piece of this tomato now.
And then I'll probably wait one more day so that
I don't make a mess.
actually taste it and tell you.
Boy, you can't beat them garden tomatoes.
If my memory's right, how it tastes.
I love these pickles. That's good there now. All right, y'all. Appreciate you hanging out with me again. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you next time.